So we see that this tree, its branches were so lovely and just growing all over the place because it had so many waters around it, so many people around it. It was just growing out of control. So everybody wanted to rest under this tree or be a part of this congregation.
Wow.
Everybody wants to be in it. Let's go to Matthew 7:15. Remember, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little.
Mm-hmm.
Through my precepts, we get understanding.
Exactly.
Matthew 7:15.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 15. Beware of false prophets.
Beware of false prophets. This is one of the things when they asked Hamashiach in Matthew 24, he told them one of the first things, be not deceived.
Exactly. Take heed.
Exactly. So beware of false prophets. Read.
Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits.
You shall know them by what?
You shall know them by their fruits.
What do fruit grow on?
On trees.
On trees. Trees with vines and branches. Read.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
Do men gather grapes of thorns and figs of thistles? That means the grapes that's on a tree that can actually hurt you. Why would you do that? But these pastors, these fake prophets, have have you eating from a table with shrimp and lobster and stuff like that on it, and it's contaminated, but you picking from it, trying to get from between it. Wait a minute, well, the pork didn't quite touch this, so I can still eat it. Read.
Verse 17. Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit.
Every good tree brings forth good fruit. You see that?
Exactly.
Every good tree brings forth good fruit. Read.
But a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit.
But it brings forth evil fruit. So if your father is rotten, more than likely, you're going to be rotten.
Exactly.
That's what this is saying. Now, we know it's a couple of exceptions through script that, you know what I'm saying? Like, my man's, he was righteous, but his sons went after bribes.
Yeah.
So, but most of the time, it's on point. Flat out, if your father is wicked, then you're going to be wicked. Mm-hmm. Read on.
Verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Read.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. But again, we keep seeing this thing about trees bringing forth fruit. Y'all got to find out the harvest and all of that stuff. If you got a garden, you need a harvest. But we ain't going to get into that part yet. Read on.
Verse 19. Every tree that bring not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Every tree that bring forth corrupt fruit is hewn down, meaning cut down and cast into the fire. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a script that you can line up anybody on the planet with to show their fruit. Anybody on the that's walking this earth to show who they really are. And we're going to get that in a sec. So, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. All right, read that verse 20.
Verse 20. Therefore, by their fruits you shall know them.
By their fruit you shall know them. Let's go to Isaiah 8 and 20.
Classic script.
Isaiah 8 and 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony.
So to the law and to the testimony, read.
If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
So if you hear anybody say something like, oh, that old law is done away with, he falls under this.
Exactly.
If you hear him say, Jesus took care of all of that stuff and we don't got to abide by none of that stuff in the Old Testament, right here, this is his fruit showing themselves. He works, he's a worker of iniquity, flat out. It don't matter about nobody's feelings, none of that stuff. This scripture right here is the truth. That's why we know Obama ain't right. No matter, don't care if he gave a couple people some grants. He spoke against the law and the testimony.
Exactly.
If he's turned on somebody gas or gave us some free cheese or something, the dude ain't right.
Exactly.
Read that again out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
It is because there is no light in them. If you don't got no light in you, it's your darkness. That means you're with the adversary. Let's go to Mark 8 and 23. Mark 8 and 23.
The book of Mark, chapter 8 and verse 23. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw anything.
So right here, the Messiah has done another one of his miracles. He took a blind man, spit on his eyes and whatnot, anointed his eyes, so to speak. Now, he asking him, can you see anything? Read.
Verse 24. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
So right here, this dude say, I see men as trees walking. This dude right here got the sight of the Most High. Because this is how the Most High view men, as trees. Either you a good tree or a bad tree. You either bring forth good fruit or you bring forth bad fruit. Train up a child in the way and he shall not depart. It all goes hand in hand. So this guy right here is getting to see special. He's getting to see something that most people don't get to see right here.
Right.
So the Messiah got to bring him down a notch. Read.
Verse 25. After that, he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up. And he was restored and saw every man clearly.
Now, he see every man clearly, back to the way that a man see a man.
Exactly. Opened up them spiritual eyes.
Exactly. So he opened the spiritual eyes and let him see. I see men as trees walking. Because that's the way the Most High view it. As trees walking. That was a special thing right there.
Wow.
So let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 8. Believe me, we're going to get back to that Christmas tree in a minute. Just got to build it up. Jeremiah 17 and 8.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 8.
Matter of fact, start at 7.
Verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusts in Yahuwah, and whose hope the Most High is.
So right here it says, blessed is the man that trusts in the Most High. Read.
For he shall be as a tree.
As what?
As a tree.
Read.
Planted by the waters.
Planted by the waters. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters. Read.
And that spreads out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat comes. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. Neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
Neither shall it cease from yielding fruit. Kind of sounds like the tree of life. That's what it kind of go into. Tree of life. So this tree right here don't wither. The heat don't get to it. None of that. It's there through whatever. It's got the water right there with it. So this tree is good because it's coming from the Most High. Let's go to Jeremiah 10. Famous Jeremiah 10. And everybody use, but we're going to go into it even deeper. Jeremiah 10. Matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 2.
Verse 2. Jeremiah 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathens. Whatever the other nations do, don't do it.
Exactly.
Read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. What's something that's in heaven that's on the tree?
Stars.
A star. Right. Most people put that star on the top or the peak of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
For the heathens are dismayed. That's why they stargazers.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and stare at the sun and tell you, oh, on December 21st, all of the planets are going to be aligned, and that's going to cause this great thing that's supposed to pop off. See, they dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
This says what? The customs.
Right.
Plural. Not one thing. The customs of the people are vain. Read.
For one cuts a tree out of the forest.
So one cuts a tree out of the forest. Read.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
So he chop it down. He use an axe. Now they got their little power saws or whatnot. Read.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and with gold. Again, we know through being in this tradition, growing up in this country, being forced to do this stuff, well, we thinking it's an actual good thing. We see that they are doing this right to this very day. Mm-hmm. This custom has survived all of these years. Read.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
So they fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. Again, now we got this. They got a thing that the red little joint at the bottom that you put the tree down in, so you don't got to use the nails no more. So they done got advanced and evolved with this joint. Read.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree.
They are upright as the palm tree. Now, we're going to show you back in ancient Egypt, they didn't have the evergreen tree or the fir tree. They used the palm tree to do this thing. Read.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
But they speak not. Read.
They need to be carried.
They have to be carried. They can't get in the house on their own. Somebody got to carry it in.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
Now, he said, this is real right here. He says, be not afraid of them. Now, why would you be afraid of a tree?
Exactly.
This is deep. He says, be not afraid of them. Read.
For they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
So they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Now, we know with this Santa Claus thing, they tell you, you better be good, because he'll do what? He'll put pepper in your eye. You'll be scared of him. You know, saying you better be, he know everything.
Right. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
So you better be good.
For goodness sake.
So this guy is scaring you into doing this.
Wow.
But this is his counterpart. This is his counterpart on the physical level that is supposed to be, this guy will do this to you.